Hey girl, how you doing? Me? Not so much. Yesterday was good. I hugged a tree. I had a great day. But I had an unnecessary conversation with someone today that I shouldn't even had. And I initiated it. That's the worst part about it. I could have avoided all the foolishness by just not going in that direction. The scale. Now, anyone who's in menopause, on the other side of menopause, you know what I mean. It's not your friend. It's just pure evil. I mean, like literally pure evil. Every time I walk up to it, step on it, it in its own way says, it's the same. It didn't change. Oh, but today it said, my bad. You gained some. You're welcome. Huh. So you might be saying scales don't talk. Yes, they do talk. They produce information that elicits an emotion. It's either good or bad. Today, mine was bad. So what did I do after that? I wish I could say this is the only thing I got there. But it's not. She's just evil. Every time I have stepped on her for the last 12 years, which correlates with when my menopause started, it's drama. I usually keep her on timeout, literally. I don't talk to her. I look at her, but I don't talk to her. That is better than the strategy I used today. My bad. Okay, wait a minute. I know I can't be the only one out here that has the same type of relationship that I have with my skill. I mean, tell the truth. Raise your hand if you wish that someone in your family, one of your elders, one of your friends, one of your older friends had warned you that in order to deal with menopause, you need about a 10-year head start. Like, for real. You got to do a whole bunch to prepare for the nightmare. And for those women out there who don't have any symptoms and go through menopause like it's a breeze, I hate you. I literally hate you. Oh my God. I have gone through everything. The moment someone said happy birthday on my 50th birthday, and I wish I were kidding you, I've been dealing with hot flashes, night sweats, to the point where when I have a hot flash, it's so unexpected, all I want is to jump into a pile of snow, a refrigerator, or a freezer. It went to the point where I had to have a fan, USB hand fan with me at all times. I'd even go to the restaurants, look for the menu, and tell the server, we're gonna keep the menu here for the remainder of my, meal, because that thing was big enough to fan and I was always hot. I can't wear sweaters. That's just ridiculous. Not gonna do that. And most of my outfits now are either short sleeve or tank tops. Now, I'm not religious, but can anybody else testify? Woo. My closet these days is separated into sections. I got a skinny section. I got a section where I can gain about 5-10 pounds and still look okay. Then I have a section where it's elastic, just in case I can barely breathe. And then the last but certainly not least section is my moo-moo section. That's you know what that section is, right? Free flowing, just let me breathe, don't ask me no questions. I'm here, I'm showing up, and I'm hopefully not gonna sweat throughout the entire course of my stay. Now, I mean, I'm frustrated, man. I've been exercising for a moment, thinking I'm doing really good. Summer's here, and I expected to wear some of my summer clothes. All I'm prepared to do is wear my winter collection. But ain't nobody got time to be wearing a winter collection during summer. I was supposed to glide into this summer looking like going into your mid-60s is a breeze. But I'm not. I'm struggling. I mean, progress is slow. It's really slow. And if I hadn't derailed myself this morning, I'd be in a much better mood than I am right now. And I don't know about anybody else, but it's daunting at best. However, I am going to reevaluate things. Right now, I know I'm doing some stuff to sabotage myself. My usual routine is I wake up, I get my day started. I'm a caretaker to my parents who don't need a lot of attention right now, but it's daily. And, when I'm not there for more than a couple of days, it is at the point now where I'm going to have somebody check in on them until such time as I need somebody to sleep over. But after I deal with my parents, then I work like the building's on fire. And if I'm lucky, I drank some water, some coffee, and I congratulate myself around 3 p.m. because I barely ate, right? Sounds good, right? It's like she goes to the gym. She sounds like she's not eating. I'm not done. I'm not even hardly done. Then comes 8 p.m. and the gremlin comes out to play. The gremlin is my stomach. And it just starts going. It wants something crunchy, salty, savory, sweet. It has to go into my refrigerator cupboards. You'd swear I hadn't eaten in 12 days. I will binge eat. I will just, if it's crunchy, savory, sweet, and not nailed down, it's probably gonna be eaten. I can't help myself. And then I say, well, girl, you didn't eat all day, so it's gonna be all right. No, it really isn't, because then you know how the next part of the story goes. You don't stop eating until about midnight if you're lucky. You go to sleep on that. You wake up food drunk, and then you're faced with all this regret. I mean, like, I don't know if there's a meeting out there, not for Overeaters Anonymous, but Menopausal Overeaters Anonymous. Someone should start that, because that stuff is real. I can't control it. It's as if my willpower leaves the building, doesn't leave any forwarding phone number, address. I can't send a smoke signal nowhere. It just laughs and says, no, I'll see you tomorrow. So I'm on my own. And I can't seem to shake that at the moment. But I'm determined to do something. I need a hug. I'll be right back. Okay, I had to get a hug from Allie. Yes, it was that serious. I mean, what can I say? I have bad days. We all do. If you haven't started menopause yet, let me give you a preview as to how it looks. In your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you just kind of glide through life. If you need to go to an event, you take about 2 weeks to get back into the clothes you couldn't fit, and you're good. But after menopause, or right before it starts and during, it's not like that anymore. The same techniques that you use to be able to fit into your clothes so easily and so quickly, it doesn't apply anymore. It's not the same experience. It takes months, if not years, to accomplish the same goals that you could do so quickly. And I started realizing why. And I want you to consider this also. When you were either a parent or just young, think about that. What'd you do? You got up, you rushed off to work, you moved around all day at work. If you had kids, before you went to work, you got them prepared, made their lunch, dropped them off to school, then went to work, did everything, moving around all day long, picked up the kids, went to the events or their extracurricular activities, got home, made dinner, went to bed, and did that whole routine all over again. But you also had enough energy on the weekends, even with your kids and work, where you went partying at night. So the reason why you were able to keep your weight lower when you were younger is because you were more active. Now think about this. when your kids got to a certain stage, you know, where they became independent and they no longer needed as much of your commute time, your attention, things started slowing down. Until one day your kids didn't need you. You weren't moving as much as you used to. You dang sure weren't partying like you used to. And so you were more sedentary. You were just going to work. You had perfected your job, staying in your chair more than you were moving around. And one day after another, cocktails, anyone? Go to sleep, anyone? Stay at home on the weekends? That's the problem. We're not as active during our menopausal years as we are before our menopausal years. So what does that mean? Our body's broken? Absolutely not. No, our body's not broken. Our strategy is broken. The same techniques we used when we were younger cannot be the same techniques we use now. It's a effort in futility. It really is. So I'm gonna make some changes. And if you're with me, I'd love some company. I really would. I need cheering up. I need rooting on, and we can help each other, okay? So what I'm thinking about doing is, one, I'm going to get more rest than I used to. Two, eat a lot healthier than I used to throughout the day. They say if you eat like a queen in the morning, a princess in the afternoon, and a pauper at night, that's the way you should do it. And I'm doing things out of order because I'm too busy. Well, I can't be so busy that I can't make a shake or do something. Also, the alcohol that me and alcohol have tapered down a whole bunch. I mean, these days, if I have a margarita here and there during the week, that's an award-winning week in terms of me enjoying my margarita. But honestly, it's getting to the point now where I wake up puffy, bloated, lethargic. There is something about me going through menopause. I just can't get down like I used to. So for me, I just have to stop it. And last but certainly not least, I'm putting that girl on a timeout again. I'm literally putting her on a shelf that I can't even find her. Because you know what? Numbers don't rule me. I'm not going to let it steal my joy. Instead of looking at it on the scale, the numbers on the scale, I've decided I'm going to ask myself when I wake up and before I get my day started, Nancy, how do you feel? What's your mood like? What's your energy like? Do you feel like you got enough sleep? Do you have the stamina? Can you get to the gym? And if the answers to all of those questions is yes, or are yes, then I'm going to say to myself, okay, keep doing it. Watch what you're eating. Try not to eat at night. Be loving to yourself, forgiving to yourself, because you know you're going to mess up. And over the course of time, just see how you look in those clothes. Hard stop in a discussion. If you still can't get into what you want to get into, then that means I have to put, we got to put more work into it, right? But it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not even necessary to, on a daily basis like we used to, check in when really all we have to do is take our clothes off, look in the mirror before we get in the shower, and we got our answer. We're either going in the right direction or we're not, right? So, stop the foolishness if you are doing it like me, and let's create a whole new script. You want to do it with me? Let's create a whole new script, a smarter script for grown-ass women at our age. We have got to understand our bodies. We have to listen to our bodies and determine what it's telling us, pay attention to the signs, and then act on those signs. That's where I fall off. I was never before an emotional eater, and now I can't hold myself. Ice cream, cake, cocktails, and a good, Netflix binge, That's what's up. I mean, that's what's up right there. And hugging Allie at the same time, that is what's up. But like I said, I was happy yesterday and I'm not today. I want the feeling of continuity in being happy and feeling good about myself. So that means I have to do things differently. Now, in all honesty, although the scale said I'm the same, I clearly am reshaping my body. I do know that muscle weighs more than fat, and I just have to be patient. I have a problem with that. I have a lot of responsibility as the sole caretaker for my parents, wanting to spend time with Allie. I like to at least take one cruise a year if I can, and that's how I'm good to myself. However, I have to remember that the only way effectively to do all that is to first take care of business. So the business at hand is me and changing my relationship with my weight at this stage of my life. Look, there are 70, 80, and even 90-year-old women, 90-year-old women who are in better shape than I am right now. And I'm not trying to look like I previously did. That's not my goal. I just want to represent myself the best I can for where I am right now. And I have a lot of role models out there if I go on Insta and just want to see them taking those perfect pictures. But I know the truth. It took them about 200 takes to get those pictures. I don't have time for all that. Mama's too busy for all that. But what I do have time for is making changes that are meaningful and allow me to feel better about myself. How about you? You got that type of time? Great. Well, let's stop the foolishness of doing things the way we did before. It doesn't work. We've got to be more realistic. We probably will never be able to get into the skinniest of our clothes, not because it's not attainable, but in order to do that, we would first probably have to starve ourselves. And I found out a little secret a couple of years ago that's made a real big difference for me, and that is the older you get, per a certain period of time, you're supposed to add about 5 pounds onto your previous weight, because as you get older, you should be a little healthier for the muscles and just for your health in general. So I don't know if that's true. Look it up. Get back with me. Let me know if I'm wrong, but that makes me feel good. But if I can get into some of my clothes at a certain size that show my waist off, show the shape of my legs correctly, and my arms aren't flapping around in the wind, that's gonna make me feel good. I wanna walk into being 62 looking the best that I can for my age. And I want us to set a new standard. If your family is anything like mine, which was loving, they still didn't share the secrets of longevity and how to live your best. I had to figure all that stuff out on my own. So I'd like to think that our generation could do a better job by creating an environment of inclusivity where we invite the younger audience into conversations on how to prepare to live their best lives when menopause starts, because it's entirely different than the life they led before. And we are living longer. My parents buried all of their parents before they turned 50, every last one of them. My parents are 81 and 84, and they don't look like they're going anywhere. And I'm really happy about that because I have fun with them. I really do. Caretaking is a lot, but I also have fun with them, and I love being with them. And our relationship dynamics have really changed. And I want to ensure that if they're going to live to 84 and 90, that means I potentially have, at 61 years old, a good 30 years in front of me if I put in the work now, which means my children and my grandchildren, if I ever have any, are going to live even longer, right? So at one point, being 61, one would have thought, oh, shoot, she's about to die. Oh, I'm nowhere near dying. Thank you very much. I just started living on my own terms. I have a peace of mind I have never had. So I expect to live way past 90, not just breathing, but living vibrantly, living a life on my own terms and as independent as I can possibly be, afford to be. And I damn sure believe that's a realistic goal. I really do. I just have to make up for lost time. There is a learning curve, and do the damn thing. And you'll always hear me saying that, right? Now, why don't you guys share with me, because I'm throwing up an SOS. I literally am, SOS. If you are in your 60s and still going through menopause, and you have learned a thing or two, let's do that each one, teach one thing. Add it to the comments. Tell us what's working. You don't have to give the whole recipe, but if you got some tips on staying away from the scale, please let us know. If you got some tips on how to control the gremlin that comes out and takes over when your willpower checks out, let a body know, please. We really need to know. Any way we can help each other is good. And one day, long after I'm gone and this channel is being discovered by someone, they're gonna learn a couple of things or two that will encourage them to notify the next generation, hey, there's an easier way to do things, there's a better way to do things, we're living longer, let's maximize what that looks like. Okay, Allie's in the background. I don't know, ma'am, you want to say hi to everybody? Okay, that's not happening right now. My bad. Thank you again. Let's keep each other inspired. I may have started off on a rant, but I wanted to just share my experience, share what I'm gonna do about it, and hopefully encourage others to do the same. And last but certainly not least, ask any of you to pass on your wisdom. If you're in shape, healthy, feeling great, living your best life, in your chi every day, found that peace. I got my meditation shirt on today because seriously, I walked out the house like, I'm done. If you're the person, that woman who's gliding through because you worked hard to figure your body out, please add a comment. We need your help. Hi, for any of you who question whether or not I actually have a pupperoo, here she is. It's really hard to capture both of us together, especially when I'm out in nature, because her primary focus is looking for squirrels, as you can see. Full disclosure, she's never allowed to catch the squirrel. I always, when I see her getting too close, I say, run, squirrel, run. But I wanted to just say thank you so much for listening to me today and going along with me on my journey. As I've mentioned before, it's not linear. I have good days, I have bad days. I'm frustrated today. And anyone who is going through menopause or is on the other side of menopause understands that it's a challenge. We just have to accept that our old script will not work. We have to create a whole new script for who we are today. And it takes an investment. It takes time and effort. But can we do it? Hell yeah, we can do this. We just have to adapt and overcome, as they say in the Marines. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If any of what I said today resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back. You can count on it. Bye.